Boy, why does it feel good to be back home and to be back in the studio. And in the time since we've been gone, a new basilica was just consecrated in Ukraine despite the war. Pope Leo is about to have a live conference with around 15,000 American youth, and the Latin Mass will be coming back to St. Peter's Basilica. All this and more brought to you today by Church Headlines. Hello and welcome to Church Headlines, your regular Catholic news recap. I'm Brother Darius Lawrence. Let's dive right in. Have you ever wanted to hop on a conference call with the Pope? I know I have. Well, Pope Leo XIV is preparing his very first digital visit to the United States. On November 21st, he will connect virtually with young Catholics across the country in a live stream conversation. The initiative is being organized as part of the general session of the National Catholic Youth Conference. It will give American youth the chance to interact directly with the Pope, something that many would never have expected outside of a World Youth Day setting. This marks a new chapter in how the Pope engages with the faithful in the digital age. In the Philippines, an Augustinian priest has been suspended after blessing a Masonic monument in a public ceremony in Ormoc City. The event sparked immediate backlash within the church. For those who don't know, the Catholic Church has long prohibited membership in Masonic organizations. Actually, only 2 years ago, the Vatican Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith reiterated that affiliation with Freemasonry is incompatible with Catholic identity. If you're wondering why, this is because Freemasonry denies that God has revealed himself to mankind, and also professes a form of religious relativism, basically saying that all religions are equal. Catholics, of course, believe that God has revealed himself through the Old Testament patriarchs like Abraham, the prophets like Elijah, and of course, through his son, Jesus Christ. In Rome, the Latin Mass is going to be returning to St. Peter's Basilica. After restrictions were put in place under Pope Francis, many wondered if the extraordinary form of the Roman Rite, also known as the Tridentine Mass, would ever again be celebrated in the heart of Catholicism. Pope Leo has permitted Cardinal Raymond Burke to celebrate the Mass on October 25th during the upcoming Summorum Pontificum pilgrimage. This pilgrimage is a gathering of clergy and laity devoted to the ancient Roman Rite. For many, it's a sign that Pope Leo desires to build bridges and foster unity between various positions within the Church. In response to Israel's full invasion of Gaza, the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate of Jerusalem and the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem have issued a rare joint statement. The two patriarchates expressed deep concern over the humanitarian catastrophe unfolding, appealing for an immediate end to the violence and for respect towards all civilians. The Catholic Holy Family Compound and Church in Gaza City has been a refuge for hundreds of displaced Christian civilians, many of whom are elderly or have disabilities. Many are weakened and malnourished due to the hardships of the last months. The patriarchs emphasized that the order by the Israeli government for them to leave Gaza City and flee to the south would be, quote, nothing less than a death sentence, end quote. For this reason, the clergy and the nuns of the Holy Family Center have decided to stay and to care for the refugees there who are unable to leave. As you may have heard, the center has already been hit once by an Israeli bomb, which killed 3 civilians. The patriarchs support the decision to stay by the Christian community and are asking the current Israeli government to respect their decision and to end the war. They cite Pope Leo's recent words to a group of refugees from Chagos, quote, all peoples, even the smallest and the weakest, must be respected by the powerful in their identity and rights, especially the right to live in their own lands, and no one can force them into exile, end quote. Pope Leo XIV has given his own Pontifical Mitre to the Diocese of Chiclayo as a personal gift. The Mitre can now be seen on display in a glass case in the parish of St. Joseph the Worker, a parish in which the Pope himself once served. Pope Leo has also sent financial support for the construction of the future Oscar Romero Chapel in La Victoria. Both acts are a clear sign that the Pope has not forgotten the diocese in which he served for almost 10 years. Hello to everyone who's listening. I have some good news to share with you all. We just reached 1,000 subscribers on September 14th. This was the feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, and also the day when I received my cassock and began my vocation as a religious 13 years ago. Thank you to all who support the channel by subscribing and liking. It's only been 5 months since we started, but we hope that you enjoy our videos and that they provide you with real value. As always, any feedback for improvement is very welcome. Just write us down in the comments section and we'll try to answer. There's a new Catholic basilica in Ukraine. Despite the ongoing war, a beautiful new Catholic basilica has just been blessed and inaugurated by Bishop Kenneth Novakovsky in Shtarun, Western Ukraine. The basilica is dedicated to Blessed Bishop Simeon Lukach. I hope I just pronounced all of those names right. Bishop Lukach was imprisoned and sent to labor camps in Siberia by the Soviets for his fidelity to Rome and his defense of the underground church. The photos released show a beautiful structure filled with light and hope, standing in stark contrast to the destruction of the ongoing war. The dedication of this new house of prayer is a reminder that even in times of violence, faith continues to build and beauty still has a place in the heart of the Church. Pope Leo XIV has just issued a rescript that promotes employment opportunities for people with disabilities in the Vatican. The Vatican will now be actively seeking to hire and integrate disabled persons, recognizing their dignity and gifts. Whenever necessary, appropriate and specific measures will be implemented to make different roles accessible. This initiative fits into the Pope's wider push for the application of the Church's social doctrine in the concrete rules and culture of the Vatican city-state. There's a new bishop in China. The years of dialogue between the Communist Party and the Vatican seem to be bringing fruits. Giuseppe Maianen was just installed as an auxiliary bishop in Zhuangjiakou, with the approval of both the Vatican as well as the Chinese Communist Party. The ceremony was celebrated with official recognition, reflecting the complex relationship between the Chinese government and the Vatican. While underground and state-sanctioned communities still face tensions, this installation is seen as another test case in the fragile agreement between Rome and Beijing. And finally, did you know that there is a baby bishop course in Rome? Yes, every year around September, all the new bishops that were consecrated in the previous year come together in Rome for a course on how to be a bishop. Actually, the course was hosted for many years at my seminary, where brothers and I were able to help out with logistics. But a couple years ago, the Vatican decided to organize it all in-house on one of their properties. This year, there are around 200 new bishops, and Pope Leo XIV met with them personally at an audience in the Vatican. He gave them a clear message: be builders of bridges. He urged them not to become isolated administrators, but shepherds who unite the people, reconcile divisions, and embody Christ's mission of community. Ready-made answers learned 25 years ago in seminary are not enough, he said. There was a question and answer session at the end, and overall, it was a beautiful moment for the Pope, who, as the Bishop of Rome, was able to meet and encourage his fellow bishops and apostles who evangelized throughout the world. And that wraps up this week's edition of Church Headlines. Thank you for joining us as we keep you informed on the latest news from the Catholic world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Until next time, thank you and God bless.